Welcome back to the Chill Lounge. We are at the Festival 2014 here at Whangarei, and we have Caroline Ladi6 with us. We've just chatted about her journey. Now we're going to get into talking about a song, a particular song, and we were going to go way back to Jasmine off the second album, but we're going to bring it right up forward, and we're going to talk about Icarus. Okay, and we're going to try and extract the reason why, the how, wherever it started, and we're going to try and build a song out of that for you. Let's go. Where did it start? Where was the idea? Was it musical? Was it lyric?
The idea started initially because how we write songs as Parks is they're all beats-based songs, so that always start with almost like a completed demo loop of a beat, you know, and he comes up with everything, and that includes like getting musicians to come in and play different parts. And so he actually had this really interesting, what is it? It's a record called, it's records that, I've forgotten what the actual name is, but it's records that they used to use back in the olden days, that they used to give all the television shows, and they used to use all of these different same set of samples to make the sort of music for the show, you know. The beginning.
Does it start with the scratches?
No, it doesn't actually, but he did, it's like this arpeggio sort of thing, and he sped it up, and that's the main sample. This sort of like, it gives it this eerie sort of, whimsical sort of feeling to the song, but that was the main sort of sample. Yeah, I wish I remembered what the records are called. They're like they're sort of standard records that old television companies used to get. And so it all came from that. It all was sort of inspired by that one sample, and then just very late one night, it's actually quite hard to write to beats. It's much easier, I think, to write to a guitar and just sort of like bang it out, you know, have three chords and sort of bang it out and start to structure it slowly like that. This is kind of you're given a finished product almost, and it just loops over and over and over again. There's no arrangements. You kind of have to use a lot of your imagination to think, okay, now if we took these out, but they're not out yet, so you have to kind of visualize where you want the song to go. So it was super hard for me to think of lyrics to this. It was an incredible piece of music. I loved the way it made me feel. And then very late one night, about 3 o'clock in the morning, put our son to bed and everything, and he was downstairs tinkering away because he's that guy that just stays in the cave forever. I have to remind him that he has a family and dinner. And I'm the one that's keeping like the family ticking away with the normal domestic duties, and he's the one that's just, you know.
He knows this, right?
He knows this. This is not news to him. He knows this, absolutely. This is our role. This is how it works. The dynamic works, you know. But at 3 o'clock in the morning, we had sort of a few whiskeys, and I went down there, and it just fell out of my mouth. It was just one of those times where it's a magic moment at night. We were there, we're free, you know, and sort of relaxed, and the words just came out, and it ended up being this sort of beautiful love song. It's a very strange song. The arrangement, it's kind of a chorus, 2 verses, a chorus.
It starts with a chorus?
I think so, yeah. A couple of choruses, and then that's it. And it's just this very short, very strange sort of song. But when you hear it, it's just got a feeling, and it's quite indescribable. And I think it's something that we've never been able to achieve before with the song. So we were quite surprised. You know, we were taken aback that it could have happened that way. Usually it takes us a lot of thought and a lot of like sort of going back and forth and taking instruments out and making bridges and then back, and a lot of arranging. It's sort of almost like putting a puzzle together. With this, it was totally like, it just
free,
felt, it was incredible.
Right, so cool. When you recorded that then, did it work with the same kind of spirit when you recorded it? Or are you now talking about the finished recording?
So we recorded it, and it's a funny thing actually. What happened is we recorded it, and I recorded it very low, and then he went back in and pitched the entire thing up. And then when we re-recorded it, because then he pitched it all up, and then he had to change all of these things. But luckily he uses this incredible program called Ableton. And Ableton
fixes it
completely, you know, and it's so much. It's super user friendly. If you already make beats on a program, he used. I think before Ableton he used Pro Tools. So it was quite easy for him to sort of, he used a few things, but it was quite easy for him to transition. And And then we went back into the studio and I relearned the song in a new key. Then we did it again in a studio in Detroit. So
cool. So then bringing it on to the live stage format, how does that particular song work on stage? Does it work the same as it worked within that night when the whiskies were flowing?
Totally, this is the weird thing, it's got that feel, and it's like the kind of first song that we ever created that has this, the minute you hear like the first
there's no
it's like you're back there. And everyone has quite an effect on everyone.
In the band?
Everyone in the audience.
Oh really?
It has this quiet effect where they're all kind of like entranced by it, and it's quite an intangible thing. You can't create that. It just happens or it doesn't happen. We've made 3 albums. We've never had something like that. This is the first song. So
how's it gone? So I just don't know. How has it actually gone as far as award show or radio play and all that sort of stuff?
So it's funny that as you know, I'm sure you know, the industry is completely topsy-turvy at the moment. Yes, they did put Icarus on the radio. It particularly works well on sort of student radio stations and sort of all of the urban radio stations, but that song, people have, the exact same thing happened with people. They listened to it. We had a lot of YouTube people doing dances, like a lot of dancers recorded themselves doing these incredible dances. There's like at least over, sort of half a dozen, and they're from all over the world, like French people, American people, just hearing that song and being moved by it and just making up these dances and filming themselves doing choreography. And it's something that I've always wished for, and I didn't even know until it happened, and then I went, that's what I want. I want people to be like moved emotionally, but they go, I know I'm going to create my own thing. And now I'm going to film it because this is how moved I am by it. And so, it's always the hope for both Parks and I to really make a record that, you're always trying to master something, and it's that feeling, and you can't learn it.
No, you can't.
It just happens or it doesn't happen. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's what keeps you going, though, isn't it?
It is. It's that sort of like chasing the dragon almost.
Chasing the dragon. I'm always chasing the dragon. Yeah, we can relate to it so well. There's a really fine line between being there and trying to get there, because you actually are there, but we're always trying to get there. And somehow with the wisdom we maybe just don't have, I don't have it quite yet because I'm still trying to get there, but we are actually here, being here right now. You get there. You're certainly going there. Is there anything else just on the top of all of that you want to say before we sign it off?
Yeah, I kind of want to say, when it comes to music, I think a lot of people forget that it's really a creative process. Like, as much as you like, and I know that people are like, yeah, of course we know it's a creative process, but I think a lot of people overthink structure and arrangement, and yes, things have to have a chorus, maybe, but it doesn't necessarily have to be like that. I am the emotional part of Ladi6, I suppose, while Parks is definitely the more technical part where he thinks about, everything being in tune and everything being in key and making sure that you've got the guitars and the drums and whatever, but I think feel goes a long way,
and feel goes all the way.
Well, I think so, and I think as long as you have that at the forefront, then you can let everything else in. I always say to Parks when he's busy in the studio, don't forget to connect with the spirit. While you're pushing away on the computer, don't forget that this is actually a spiritual experience. And once you connect there, then all the music will be right, regardless of what instruments you play.
It just made me think of something too. So how do you get on with like real feel, real time when you're working with the machine all the time? So Parks is down there, he's still working on the machine. How do you get that real feel, real time? When you get on stage, because you've got live drums, but you're still playing. Are you playing to a clip track? Like, is there a track?
There is. It's like literally DJing on a little. Okay. So I record all my vocals and I write all of my own stuff. I isolate myself and I just go fully into my own thing. I'm just like headphones, like GarageBand. I'm literally just a giant, dictaphone. And then it's actually frustrating. I actually would like to know more about that, like so that I can kind of control more about of the. It's kind of but I'm not that way minded.
No, not very minded.
It's kind of like, what can you do? Yeah,
Can't do
are you going to go to school and learn
Yeah,
this?
no,
I'll
that's
hate
right.
it. There's no way.
That's right.
It would kill something else, another part of me that I need.
I get it. 100%. I'm a drummer, man, and I just like feel sometimes like I'm a dumber.
Yeah.
I just play the grooves and I go, but I don't want to learn all that other stuff.
Yeah,
You know, I just want to play drums because that's what makes my heart tick. You know?
Totally.
Hey, look, really cool. We should lock it up here so we can go and check this band out.
Yes.
So, go and see them. Thanks very much for coming, Caroline. I really enjoyed that. It was wonderful. I enjoy all these experiences with all of the people that we sit down with. Because it's trying to interview, because I just don't get it. When you go to the restaurant, I'm talking about that music. It was just powerful. Thank you again, look.
No worries.
Excellent. Wonderful. And we're going to sign off now from Fritter. That was the last band. 2014 Fritter Festival here in Whangarei, Northland, is now signed off. See you again next year.
You make me feel so good inside. I could have died, instead I cried. One tear for the feeling you've given to me. Could I return the favor, baby?